Welcome to the Kristi Jones Show, your go-to space for thriving in business and life. I'm Kristi, and after decades in the multifamily housing industry, a business owner, and now speaker and coach, I help ambitious professionals step into bold leadership, ditch the self-doubt, and have more of what they want, more success and more fulfillment. If you're ready to flourish and thrive, you are in the right place, my friend. Hey, my friend, welcome back to the episode. Today, I'm really excited to jump into this with you. And this is something I believe that we all can relate to. And as you know, I'm always bringing all the ways to thrive in business and life. And today, I want to talk about our own capacity, our capacity when it comes to what we can handle in business and life. We all have capacity and our ability to handle life's demands, which sometimes seem like a lot. Sometimes we feel maxed out. Other times we feel like there's maybe a little bit room for more. But today, here's what I want to dive into today. I want to talk about how we can expand our own capacity, not by adding more on top, but by strengthening how we support ourselves each and every day, and really supporting ourselves so we can handle life and business with more ease and more strength in a way that feels good to you. So let me just jump right into it today, because I think when I talk about our capacity, your ears perk up because you're like, I have no more capacity. Maybe you have so much on your plate right now that you don't feel like there's room for more. And that doesn't feel good. That feels overwhelming. You feel, like I said, maxed out. It just doesn't feel a way that feels relaxed and with ease. You feel it increases your stress. You get like all on edge. So today I want to talk about how we can strengthen that capacity and have more capacity to take on and really just to handle our life, handle those everyday situations, handle our business in a much more effective way. A way that's going to have you feeling good, because like I talk about all the time, it's about success and fulfillment, and it's not one without the other. If you are just always driving towards your ambitions and you're not balancing it out with the other fulfillment factors, the other values in your life, it's a crash and burn situation most times. So let's talk about today how to maximize your capacity and feel good doing it. First thing I want to share with you is sleep. I'm going to just share with you the things that I've learned along the way that has helped me show up in the best way, that I can handle the things that come my way. Sometimes even the unexpected things. A lot of times, yeah, we have the things that we know are going to be routine and expected for the day, for the week, for the month. But what about when the you know what hits the fan? What about those unexpected things? When you are operating in a way where you're not maxed to the capacity of what you feel you can handle, when those little unexpected things hit, you're equipped. You can walk through that in a really strong, powerful way, in a way that feels good to you. So let's talk about the importance of sleep. Sleep is what helps restore you. It keeps your brain feeling so sharp. And if you go in, and we all deal with lack of sleep every once in a while, but I'm talking like your routine day in, day out. Everyone has a different number of what feels best, but it's really important for you to figure out what that number is for you. For me, it's like 7 to 8 hours. And that's pretty true when you read the science and all the data that's there about sleep and what we need. 7 to 8 hours is kind of like the holy grail that they suggest. But I know people that can operate and do very well on a lot less, and some people that require a little more. So it's really important that you tune into what feels best for you. For me, it's like 7 hours, and I'm just ready to go. And that's good sleep, good restful sleep. Definitely, I get like there are seasons of life, and I definitely went through different pockets of time in my life where I was getting, sleep 2 hours and then I would be up. Or maybe the max I was getting a night was 4 to 5 hours a night. And that's just oftentimes when you're working through different seasons of life, different situations that are going on, that's what you do. You find a way to make it work. But when you get on the other side of that and you can regulate, finding what is optimal for yourself, that is really ideal. But we can operate with less sleep in shorter amounts of time. And I'm just saying, like, for the long haul, it's good to know, like, what is your sweet spot. So for me, it's like 7 hours a night. And sleep is going to help you restore. It's going to help you wake up and just emotionally feel better. Your brain feels better. Your body gets a chance to recharge. It is an absolute requirement for us to really maximize what we can handle throughout the day. The next thing I want to touch on is the importance of nutrition. When you are a high achiever, an ambitious person, an ambitious professional, whatever label you want to put on yourself, when you are expecting a lot of yourself, you have to look at how you are fueling your body, period. Regardless if you're expecting a lot of yourself mentally or physically, you've got to look at what you're putting in the tank. So nutrition is just a really important building block of you maximizing your capacity. You have to look at things like, well, under eating is not serving anybody. It is not allowing you to have the most energy that you could have. It affects our brain. So you have to look at making sure you're getting enough good calories, enough good, solid, real food, not just processed crap. Um, you know, I prefer to eat, like, if it's just the real thing, like a protein, a beef, a chicken, fish, a vegetable, a potato, a sweet potato, like real food. If it comes in a box and it has a bunch of ingredients in it, really simple to figure out, it's processed food. So try to really focus in your nutrition. If you want to get yourself in a place where every day you're waking up and you're feeling like you are operating at a solid capacity, that no matter what comes your way, you're going to be ready for it. So, nutrition. Next thing I'm going to touch on is stress. And we all have stress. We have days that maybe are super stressful. We might have seasons of life that are very stressful. So you can't avoid stress. And there's even good stress. Like, stress is not, I like to always remind people that stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. Chronic stress, intense stress over a long period of time is not good for our systems. But I mean, stress serves a purpose. So the goal is not to have a stress-free existence. The goal is to know how to manage your stress, because stress and things that cause that tension, that's just part of life. And so we have to have things in our toolkit that we know how to handle the stress. Let me toss some out here on the podcast that I've always found very helpful. I also suggest to my clients. And they're things that are, they're not going to break the bank. These are not going to be super complicated. And you might actually already do some of these. Or maybe you're like, oh, I used to do that. Why did I quit doing that? I have things like that all the time. I'm like, why did I quit doing that? Other than I got out of the habit of doing it. So jot these down or make a mental note of these things for managing your stress. Gratitude journal. And what is that? That means spending time each day and writing down things that you are grateful for. It is really hard to feel stressed out or pissed off when you're focusing on gratitude. When you're focusing on gratitude, it is really hard to remain stressed, to remain frustrated or angry. So focus on the gratitude and have a practice where once a day you are jotting that down and writing that down. Another thing I would love to encourage you to do is to focus on humor. Humor and making yourself laugh is one of the best ways to relieve stress. That could be as easy as listening to something funny. Maybe you have a comedian that you love. I have a couple podcasts that my husband has no idea why I listen to these. He's like, I can't believe you listen to that. It's so stupid. It makes me laugh every time I listen to it. I just love it. And it's easy listening. It's easy listening and it's entertaining to me. And I just find it so funny. So whatever can bring some more humor into your world. And it could be a movie. So whatever that is for you, figure that out and lean into bringing in more laughter, bringing in more humor into your life. Healthy habits, relieving stress, kind of that goes hand in hand. To do that, you've got to have healthy habits. I mean, there's a lot of unhealthy ways to relieve stress that are not going to be good for yourself, but look at the habits that you can weave into your everyday life that are healthy habits, habits that support you and not honestly make you feel worse, burnt out, more stressed out. So examine your daily habits and make sure that you're leaning into healthy habits that support you. Breathing techniques. I've jotted down like 5 or 6 that I do. So I'm referring to my list here because I want to make sure that I include all of these. I mean, obviously there's a ton of ways that you can relieve your stress and really manage your stress, but I'm just giving you like these really easy ones that are like no-brainers to do. Breathing techniques. I have a couple on my YouTube channel that I will actually sit there and do the breathing technique, which I'm gonna just be straight up. When I was doing those videos, I felt so awkward doing the breathing technique and recording it. It just felt really weird. Plus, it was when I first started in the online space, so the videos are a little old. Um, and I was really new at the recording thing, so you can just tell my stiffness and awkwardness. I mean, that's humor right there. Go watch that and laugh at that. I mean, I know when I watch some of my old videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. So there's some humor. But seriously, breathing techniques. There's box breathing. I've got 2 or 3 on my YouTube channel. But lean into breathing techniques. And that's really what is breathing? It's you becoming aware of your inhale and your exhale and slowing it down and paying attention to filling your body with air and oxygen and then releasing it. And the technique, there's several different ones that you can do. And so there's not like, oh, you have to do this one. There's a few different ones that are kind of my go-tos. Again, you can go to my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below in the show notes so you can get to it. But breathing techniques are an amazing, like an instant way to change that level of stress and to really relax your nervous system. It has an immediate effect on your nervous system. Another quick, easy thing to do is when you're feeling super stressed out, is go for a quick walk. Get out of the chair, get away from your desk, get out of your house, get out of your office. Go for a quick walk. I don't have time. You got 5 minutes. I can't do that. You walk the office, take the stairs, go up and down the stairs of your office building. Do it for 2 minutes. Do 2 flights of stairs. I promise you, just doing some physical activity like that. No, I mean, a workout would be fantastic. I mean, workouts and stress relief, those like, that's the holy grail. I mean, that is the thing. But I'm giving you some things to do just like in the middle of your day, right? When you feel that, you're at your capacity, you're starting to feel super stressed out. These are just some things you can do like on the fly, okay? So go take a 5-minute walk, do a couple stairs. I mean, whatever you have at your disposal, lean into that. But moving your body, instant stress relief. Anything that brings you joy, like whatever that is for you, lean into that. When we spend time doing things that we enjoy, it lowers our stress level. It might be painting. It might be, I know people that use the wooden pencils, the colored pencils, and they do these like elaborate designs in these books. And it's almost like I call it a color by number, but it's not a color by number. But they have so many of those things that it's very like people find it very therapeutic for their mind. It's just something almost mindless that you can do. You're just kind of doodling on the paper. Anything that brings you joy, anything that brings you joy, do more of that. That is going to help lower your stress. Okay, fourth thing I want to share with you when it comes to really maximizing your capacity of what you can handle in life's demands. Here's a big one is do not carry burdens that aren't yours to carry. Don't like make it your mission for the day to go out and find all these burdens and problems that aren't really yours to carry, but you're going to strap them and put them in your backpack and just, take one for the team and lug it along for the day. Carry it around in your brain. I mean, you have to know that it's not your responsibility to carry around the burdens of everything. You have to know what you need to set down. You are not responsible, and I'll dive into this in a little bit, but I'm just going to say it now. You're not responsible for the burden of others' emotional well-being, of the things that they're lugging along. That is not, you don't need to just absorb that in and carry that along with you every day. Just looking for things, looking for others people's problems that you can make your own. That is a really quick way to deplete, to deplete yourself, to deplete your capacity. Another thing to stop carrying around if you want to really make the most of your ability to handle as much as possible in an effective way, right? Not just handle it. I mean, in an effective way that feels good to you, is to stop carrying the weight of other people's opinions. I cannot even begin to describe how heavy that is for you to carry around, to be thinking about. What do they think of me? What is their opinion of this? What is their opinion of that? I promise you that will wear you smack out faster than anything. When you start putting so much weight and value into the opinions of others, I mean, you're going to max yourself out. That's limiting your capacity for you to be so caught up in what others think of you. A lot of times it's just none of our business what somebody thinks of us. And especially when you're getting to like that outer perimeter of the world, especially, and I hear this a lot from people that I work with, but in the online space, social media space, seriously, I beg you to stop caring what the people on the other side of the screen, what they think of you, the judgments that they are making about you. I promise you, if you can let go of that and not give a flying flip what judgments they're making of you, you will just feel this whole expansion on the inside and your capacity level will open up so much. I find that people focus so much on the opinions of other people. What are they going to think if I do this? What are they going to think if I do that? What You've got to quiet that chatter and really work on yourself to get on the other side of that. Once you're able to do that, you are going to just break wide open, feel so much lighter, and really give yourself that much more space to do the things that really matter in your life. Another really practical thing that I want you to take away from today's conversation is to really maximize your own capacity is setting boundaries. And that term gets thrown around a lot. I think it gets overused for how in today's society, how it's used. So let me explain what I mean by that. But you need to, so you can operate at your best and feel your best and at your max capacity, really, expanding your capacity, which is today's conversation, is setting boundaries for yourself first. Like boundaries for yourself on how much time do you need to be spending on your phone? How much time do you need to be spending watching just pointless things on TV? How much time do you need to be spending watching or reading the news? You decide that, but set some boundaries there for yourself. You can't make it just a free for all just because everything you enjoy doing. I mean, we all enjoy to do a lot of things, but sometimes when we do those things too much, it's not good for us. I mean, your girl loves a good donut. I've already told you, like my weakness, I love like I'm not a sweets person, I would say. My husband and I, we just had this conversation a few days ago. But when it comes to like a cakey thing, like a donut or maybe like a what was oh like a croissant or something like that. Now you're talking my language. Like I'm like, that sounds really good. But I also know how crappy I can feel after I have that, meaning like blood sugar and the high, the low, especially if it's just I'm not pairing it with some protein or I'm not being really thoughtful about when I'm consuming that or how I'm consuming that. So, you know, if we just went hog wild, I mean, yeah, okay, I love to eat donuts. And if I just ate donuts all the time, guess what? I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't like the way I looked. I would look like a donut eventually. And I wouldn't like that. That's not who I am. So it's just that simple. Like, think about the boundaries that you have to set for yourself, even for the things that you enjoy, but they're not helping you be the best version of you. Limit or evaluate, and when this goes back to boundaries, but time commitments. Like, what are things that you're saying yes to that really you are so lukewarm on and you don't even really want to do it? And you don't even know why you're saying, yeah, I'll do that when you just don't want to do it. So be okay saying, I don't want to do it and I'm not going to do it. Or I'm not going to do that right now, but you can check back with me another time. I might could do that next time, but I can't do it this time. And there's a million ways to answer that when you get hit up with those. But look at your time commitment, set some boundaries around how many things are you going to commit to. I am, and I do think this comes with age and experience, but I absolutely love the word no because if it's not a hell yes for me, then it's a no. And I don't really spend a whole lot of time just bouncing back and forth with it. I really know, like, oh, yeah, that is something I want to put time towards. And yes, that's absolutely, I'm not even, no, that's a no. That's a no for me right now. So really put some boundaries for yourself on your time commitments. And then this is going to take me to what I just mentioned a little bit earlier when I was talking about to not carry the burdens that aren't yours to carry. Let's talk about emotional boundaries. And what I'm referencing on emotional boundaries is having some boundaries there for yourself of knowing, are you carrying the emotions of everyone around you? And my friend, that's going to exhaust you. That is zapping your energy. You've got to handle your own business. If you are not doing the things to take care of yourself first, how on earth are you going to show up as that empowered, strong, just, endless capacity person to serve others if you aren't taking care of it with yourself first? When I ask that question to clients, it is a little baffling because they want to do so much for all the people in their life. And I am all for that. But my point is if you are not equipping yourself first, if you are not taking care of yourself, both mind, body, spirit, the whole nine yards, if you're not doing that, how are you able to serve them at your best ability? Quite frankly, you're not. They're going to get the half-ass version of you because you're trying to take on and be responsible for all these other emotions of all these other people. It's not your job. So let people handle what's on their side of the fence and you handle what's on your side of the fence. And I promise you, when you start to do that, you start allowing people, you're setting some boundaries there for your benefit, for yourself, so you can really reserve your energy. Reserve your energy. You don't need to be handling the emotional business of every single person that's within your realm. They are equipped to do that. Now, as parents, yes, when we have children, we are teaching them how to go about that. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about grown ass adults here, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Last thing I want to talk about on boundaries is self-talk. You need to set a boundary with yourself on how you talk to yourself. You're depleting your energy. You are really hindering your capacity when you sit there and just say crappy things to yourself all day, when you undermine yourself, when you are saying things about yourself in quietly in your mind. It's not like you're having this verbal conversation with yourself. Okay. These are things that are just kind of running in your mind where you're not being real nice to yourself. You probably wouldn't even say those things to another person that you liked. You were like, oh my God, I would never say that to them. But you've been saying it to yourself all damn day. So think about that. Really, really audit your self-talk. That is a boundary that you're in control of, that you can set. And if you're having a bad day, maybe just be like, you know what, I'm having a tough day. You know, we all have that, right? Where we're just really, really hard on ourselves. And in high achievers and ambitious people, we are very hard on ourselves. And that is something we have to monitor very closely. It's this dance where we do expect a lot of ourselves. I expect a lot out of myself. But what I've learned to do, where I used to like, yes, beat myself up and not talk so great about myself in my own brain, is now I don't allow that. I do not allow myself to talk to myself that way at all because it is stopping me from being my best. So audit your self-talk. There are other things that I could share with you on ways that you can really open up your capacity so you don't feel stressed out and maxed out and burnt out and like you don't have any more room for anything else today. But these are some very practical things that there's really no excuse why you can't take a handful of the things I shared today and implement those for yourself by within the next 24 hours. You know, I'm super big on that. I'm very big on it's not what we learn, it's taking action. It's taking bold action. We learn more and then we've got to do something with it. So put some of this to work for yourself in your life today. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear what works for you, what you're really liking. If something really, hit for you today, drop me an email. Definitely go down in the show notes, check out those breathing techniques. Even maybe the humor in the videos because they're so old and I was brand new at doing my YouTube channel back then. So feel free to laugh away. I know I do. And let me know how this works for you. I really want to know. Drop me an email, meet me on social. You know all the ways to get a hold of me. And as always, I want you to keep thriving in your life and in your business. And whatever you do, focus on ways that you can expand your capacity, that you can be all the things for yourself and also for those people that you serve in your life. Until next time, my friend, keep thriving. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. I want to hear what's working for you. Until then, have a great week and I will talk to you soon. Friend, thanks for tuning into the podcast today. Take a moment and share this episode with that one or two people that you thought of as you were listening to today's episode. And I would love your quick review. It would mean the world to me for you to drop a review here on the podcast. And don't forget to follow and like the show so you never miss a beat on how to thrive in business and life.